Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!
Greetings, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to Spoiler Sleepover, part of the Nerdcast Network. Join your hosts, Jason, Michael, and Rob, as they bring you on a slash-tastic adventure through cinema. Now, enjoy the show. It will be a real scream of a time.
Evil dies tonight!
You cunt. Happy Halloween! That's right. It's back. We're back talking about more Halloween movies because we just can't get enough, and we hate the month of November because, god damn it, it's not October. Now that got out of the way, are you okay over there?
November dies tonight.
So we're back, Spoiler Sleepover, talking about Halloween kills from 2021. And of course, I'm Jason Michael.
I'm Rob.
And I'm DeMarie Scary, aka Dominique.
She's back.
Dominique's back. Woo!
Talking about more Halloween, wrapping up the last two movies in our top threes, more specifically my top threes, because if you listened last week, you heard the end of Rob's with Cult of Chucky from 2017.
Bittersweet ending.
And that's how I felt after the movie, too.
That's why I said bittersweet.
Oh. But
bitter for you, sweet for me.
we are, of course, going to have to talk about a few things before we get to the movie. So whoever would like to take it away with what's been keeping us up at night.
Dominique, what's been keeping you up at night?
Animal Crossing.
Nice.
I deleted my first island and I redid everything. And I also now have Happy Homes, the DLC add-on you can get.
Nice. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
No.
Sweet.
When you play Animal Crossing, that becomes your existence. You do nothing else. You play Animal Crossing, you go to sleep, you wake up, you go to work, you play Animal Crossing, rinse, repeat.
It's a good thing I haven't played Animal Crossing.
Did I buy a special wireless controller so I can play it while laying in bed and not have to hold it? Yes.
Oh, that was when I bought my
laziness.
Switch, the first thing I bought with it was a wireless controller because I was like, I'm not using these Joy-Cons. These things are, I have ginormous hands. I'm not using these things. I'll break them.
The little controller holder that comes with it isn't that bad.
No, but the ergonomics on the big ones are better.
Yeah.
Fair. Rob,
Yeah.
what's been keeping you up at night?
Not much, honestly. I finished watching the new Netflix Gundam show, Requiem of Vengeance, I believe. It is interesting. If you like Gundam, like the originals, this one is kind of divisive, I feel. My brother got me into Gundam, as I have already mentioned previously. This whole entire show follows the bad guys and kind of paints them in like a good light. And my brother was just like, this whole show is nothing but like Nazi sympathizers. And I was just like, and then I finished it and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is totally what the show is. It's pretty fucked.
Jesus.
But it was good. Honestly, like it was enjoyable. It was fucked up. It was brutal. But yeah, I watched that while building an actual Gundam, not a Zaku. I don't have any more bad guys to build right now, but I do have 2 coming in the mail. So yeah, coming directly from Gundam base in Japan. So I'm pretty amped. So I'll be building some more. Yeah, buddy.
You
That's what's been
goddamn
keeping me
nerd.
up at night. Yep. What about you, Jason Michael? What's been keeping you up at night?
Well, as I previously talked about, I was not rewatching. I was starting to watch season 3 of From. I am one episode behind catching up. At the time of this recording, this weekend's episode will be episode 9. By the time this episode comes out, I believe we'll actually line up with the finale because there's 10 episodes per season. So,
and then I can get that free trial and just watch everything in one sitting.
Bingo. As of right now, it's there's a lot of fucked up shit, and it's sad and depressing, actually. Like something just happened. I'm not going to say with which characters, but the most recent episode I ended with continues just their misfortune right now, and they are having a tough couple days, like really fucking bad. But besides From, I am hanging out virtually, playing through Left 4 Dead again with my friend Lexi, and we are just playing through the old campaigns of 1, and eventually we will get to 2, but just having a lot of fun with that. Thank you, Boomer. But that's pretty much it for me, watching some TV and playing some video games. Let us know what's been keeping you up at night. Hit us up over on the Instagram or the TikTok or the Threads or the Facebook, or leave a comment on our YouTube page, perchance, on this video/episode. After that,
rate, like, subscribe.
We have, you're gonna be that guy, aren't you?
Do all the stuffs. Help us hit the algorithm.
We have a squiggly little thing creeping across somewhere, not saying where. It's not in my ear. Fuck off, Rob. That doesn't make it any better. But anyway.
I'm uncomfortable.
You should be. Earworm time!
Yeah!
Continuing from just ending right there, my earworms actually ties into Left 4 Dead. There's a jukebox in Left 4 Dead 2 where you can go up and just hit a bunch of buttons and play random songs. They have a band specifically for that game called the Midnight Riders, which I used to listen to their songs religiously, the 3 songs, when the game came out in 2009. And I just started listening to the Midnight Riders again. And it's like, you know what? It's not great, but damn, does it bring back great memories. It's just like really cheesy biker rock. And it's like,
Yeah, I wasn't like, 2 was okay. I don't know. It didn't hold a candle to 1. There's just something about 1.
Never good.
But
yeah,
I feel like that's most games when they hit that second one. Sometimes you're like, except for Max Payne. Max Payne 1 and 2 were great. 2 was awesome. 3 was fantastic. 3 made me cry. Son of a bitch.
Halo 2.
Halo 2, yeah.
Dominique, do you have an earworm?
It's a zombie, the cover by Bad Wolves.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, I don't remember how it goes, and the only thing that came to mind, unfortunately, was Five Finger Death Punch's cover of Gone Away.
Five Finger Death Punch should go away forever.
It's not a bad cover, but goddamn, they're not good. Sorry, we're derailing your ear. Bad Wolves, go on.
It's a zombie cover they did. It's actually quite good. It came out, I think, in 2018.
It wasn't
like the song Zombie?
No.
Yeah, by the Cranberries. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think I've heard it. Maybe I have.
Before or after she died? It was like really close to.
Yeah.
Bad Wolves.
That
was fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Rob?
Yeah. So I discovered a rather angry band. I tend to enjoy some of that stuff. Their name is, I'm saying this exactly how it's written out, Dems Fightin' Words. It is all caps, 1 word, no spaces, Dems Fightin' Words.
Love it.
And boy howdy are these boys from Chicago pissed off. They have a repeating theme in all of their songs about knocking people's teeth out. And there's one song where he has like a speaking breakdown part that I busted out laughing because I was like, that was aggressive. That he said something along the lines of, I'm going to scoop your teeth out with a spoon and beat your face until you'll be drinking out of a straw. And I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's really aggressive. But yeah, I found them off of one song called Catch a Brick, which is an anti-government song.
Catch a Brick?
Yeah, Catch a Brick. Dude, this shit's fucking brutal. And then I've just been listening to them, and it's interesting. I would call it beat down nu metal. So it's got the nu metal feel and to it, because there's like rapping, like brutal rapping, but it's also straight up beatdown music. Like, I don't know, I'm digging it.
Fucked up.
It's fucking brutal. I'm really digging it. So yeah, that's what my earworm's been this week. It's been fucking brutalness. Boy, howdy, has it been brutal.
All right. Now that we have gotten rid of the squiggly little thing, we need to start creeping it real.
That's better.
Yeah. Saw the look of disgust and disdain on your face. Tell us what has pissed you off.
Jesus Christ.
Again.
So it's been a week since this news came out as of the time of this recording. They have announced they are doing a remake of the horror comedy Idle Hands.
The resounding silence is hilarious because when Rob gets pissed off, we'll get silent for a bit and then he'll explode.
We don't fucking need it. The movie's perfect. We don't need it. Okay, I'm going to put it this way. If they came out and they said, "Hey, this is a legacy sequel," like The Craft. They did the Craft, and then they did this movie, the sequel. They just said, "Here's a Craft movie coming out." Didn't tell anybody it was a legacy sequel until it came out, and I was watching it reluctantly, waited till it was streaming. Now I wish I'd seen it in theaters because they didn't advertise it as, "Hey, this is a follow-up." Like these new girls are the kids of the originals. They didn't say that in the fucking trailer. If that's what this is, I'm here for it. But it's not. And to make things worse, it's being written, sad drum roll, by Finn Wolfhard.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, there it is.
Mike?
Yep.
Wait, so...
Okay.
Uh-huh.
He's still young.
He's very young.
Dumb.
What connection does he have to Idle Hands?
And also he was in Stranger Things, so he thinks he knows horror, and he thinks he knows what the community wants. And you know what? Shut your scrawny little ass up, sit down, little boy, and stop fucking with our shit. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not pleased. Maybe he's a great writer. Then write something that isn't fucking this. Write your own shit. Don't touch Idle Hand. I hope this ends up in development hell. I hope it never sees the light of day. And that is what's creeping it really shitty and real.
Oh my God. You see, when we get that's what's been creeping it real shitty, you know it's a good one, folks. God damn.
All right. Jason Michael.
You want to talk about something that's good then?
Yeah. Why don't you lighten this mood a little bit? What are we talking about today?
I mean, we're about to talk about some dark shit, but that's going to lighten the mood. Here we go.
I'm here for it.
Ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, we, of course, during this episode, will be talking about from 2021. Originally, it was meant to be 2020, but we all know what happened then. Yep. In 2021, we are, of course, talking about Halloween Kills, or Michael Talks in this one. Now.
Evil dies tonight.
Yep. I wanted to see what the reactions were going to be from that title, and Dominique, you did exactly what I wanted. Thank you very much. When we get there, Rob, do you know about this?
I do.
Okay. So, Dominique, I'm going to be very interested to see your reaction. We start the movie. It's continuing from the events of Halloween 2018. We see Cameron. He's walking down the street in his 6'4". He's on the phone trying to leave a message with Oscar,
who's currently playing the character of a lawn ornament.
Jesus!
I'm not wrong.
Hello, I am Fence Garland. Yes.
Best Halloween decoration ever.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, be safe, and it's just dripping on Oscar's face.
Can I just ask what happened with the actor who plays Cameron between Halloween 18 and this one? Because his opening acting is fucking horrible. I've watched this so many times, and I feel like I just am projecting my brain to the house scene and forgetting how shitty his acting is in the opening. But it is bad. Hey, man.
There's a few questionable acting moments in this movie.
Oh, yeah. So just a heads up. My notes are, what the fuck? Why is this? Yeah, I took a lot of notes that weren't pertaining to plot, but more or less like just there are issues that I found. And this isn't payback for Curse and Cult. This is just genuine because there's a lot I love about this movie, and we've already gone over it.
Yawning about Curse and Cult. Oh, buddy. Oh.
You'll
get no fucking sympathy from me.
Okay, bye. I love every Child's Play movie that has ever come out and the series. I love them all. They're so good.
I'm going to keep that part in because then that includes Mark Hamill. Everybody heard it. He said he loves all the Child's Play movies. Get fucked, nerd. I'm putting that. Nah, you didn't say that. Nah, you've dug your own fucking grave here.
I'm gonna post. I mean, there's a cool kill in the shitty one, but that's about it.
So Cameron is walking through the street and leaving a message with Oscar, and then he looks over and we see a body on the ground. Now there's a street ornament because he runs over and we see Officer Hawkins. We're like, oh, well, he found a corpse. He's gonna know something's fucking happening. Michael Myers, blah, blah, blah. And then Hawkins somehow wakes up and survives the neck stab multiple times and then getting run over and left to bleed out in the middle of the street.
Magic.
Way to go, buddy. We then get a flashback to 1978 with the cops tailing Michael Myers, a fun little flashback sequence. Hawkins was actually apparently the first one responding on the scene that night. Now he's chasing Michael through the back streets, which I really, really love James Jude Courtney as the Shape. He does really well with just like the movements, like the not moving at all. But Hawkins takes a shot, misses, and Michael walks away, does kind of like the hedge thing, kind of like in 1978, which in the unrated version of this, there's another callback to the hedge scene with young Lonnie Elam. All the cops start splitting up, taking Lampkin Lane. They, I believe it's his partner. I don't even remember his name. But Hawkins and him take a moment and look out onto Haddonfield, where nothing exciting ever happens at all. We get a cut to Lonnie Elam, young Lonnie Elam, who's getting picked on because he stole a piece of candy. He's like, no, it wasn't me. It was him, blah, blah, blah. We get an odd introduction to the Mulaney's.
Yeah.
Because they slap Lonnie, and there's a weird zoom in on their face. Some child who looks like he's got carrot top hair that does not fit his head.
Yeah.
And it just goes, you don't fuck with the Mulaney's. Cool.
These three are the most white trash, weirdest looking people. They also all look like they're 30.
I don't know. Like this scene, there's a few of the super cool zooms that we've seen before that are just done in really strange writing scenes in these movies. I can understand where people started to get a little bit, I'll say, pissed off, I guess, with the writing. Because, like, yes, Danny McBride did a great job with 18. Kills and Ends starts getting a bit more comic-y in certain places, especially in Ends. Ends feels like the writing just kind of goes, gotta end this somehow. But I still fucking love Ends. But we'll talk about that later.
At the end.
A cop shows up, and the Mulaney's are like, oh, we're just hanging out with our best buddy, Lonnie. And he's like, cool, everyone go the fuck home, because someone's going around and he killed 5 people down the street. And they're like, oh, hey, Lonnie, don't get killed. They all go their separate ways, and Lonnie's walking down the street, and we get I guess it's kind of a necessary scene just to bring back the fact of somebody was mentioned in the original movie, and now we need to have them back as a actual functional character. But Lonnie Elam is walking down the street, turns around and sees the Shape walking right at him. So he starts running, falls, and just covers himself like, no, please don't hurt me, blah, blah, blah.
And he apologizes.
Yeah, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry about Tommy Doyle. Good.
He's the bullier. Michael's
just there to be like, don't you do it. Say you're sorry.
Exactly.
Lonnie is then shaken. I don't want to even say awake, but he's like, hey, buddy, you're okay. Because it's Hawkins and his partner, who then Lonnie's like, where is he? Where is he? And it's like, who? What are you talking about? Zoom in. The boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
And he just takes off going, he's going to kill you. Lo and behold, because we cut across and they're standing right in front of the Myers house, they head on inside. We see the dog that we didn't really see in 78, just in the living room that Michael got hungry.
Yum, yum.
We get the first of 2 closet scenes where the partners walk up to the closet. Ooh, is Michael in there? Throw it open. Oh, no. Okay. Better trigger discipline with the cops than Allison later. Like, there's not a second's hesitation. Imagine someone hiding from Michael in there, and it's like, open the door. Clish! Oh, well, their face is on the back of their wall now. So They open the door. Nothing's in there. We hear the footstep upstairs. Hawkins goes to the left and his partner goes to the right and is just infatuated with the window looking out onto Lampkin Lane. Looks down, sees boot prints in the dust, which I'm so happy they included that. That was really cool to me. And I was like, cool. He's not going to last long. But every time, I know you don't like jump scares, Rob, but this is a pretty cool jump scare. There's a lot of people that like jumped in the movie. Or in the theater.
I don't like pointless jump scares. There's a difference. This is a necessary jump scare because everything in your head says, because of shitty jump scares, that there's going to be a camera cut to the front of his face and Michael's going to be standing behind him. Instead, we get a wide shot and Michael comes from the other fucking door and just wrecks that dude's shit. Like, it is worth it. That's fucking brutal.
Like, taking a closer look at this mask, this is a 78 recreation of the 18 mask. So it's just de-aged and it looks tremendous. There's shots where it's like, wow.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
obviously you can still tell it's not 78, but it looks pretty damn good and close.
Well, the thing I love about this one, especially, is when he's choking the cop, the eye holes are like loose and wide. So you can see more of like Michael in there versus the aged 40 years later mask. He's gone. Like, he is the mask. It fits him like skin. Like, I feel like it shows that evil has like fully taken him over. Like, there is no difference between the two anymore. There's not Michael the shape. It's just the boogeyman 40 years later. Like, that's all he is now.
Wait till we see this fucking mask. Jesus Christ. This is
delicious.
This mask is awesome. Hawkins comes back in. He's like, Michael, stop choking him, please, please. Oh my God. Winds up pulling the trigger and just doesn't even go anywhere close to Michael. He just hits his partner square in the neck. And it kind of like out for a second. And so Michael's just goes, oh, all right, well, this is dead. And takes off, walks away, goes downstairs. And we hear cop cars start pulling up. Meanwhile, Hawkins is going over to his partner. His partner's bleeding out through his throat. And just going, did we get him? Did we get him, buddy? It's like, yeah, buddy, we got him. He dies in Hawkins' arms as we hear a very familiar voice. Now, I've heard a lot of things about this voice. I've heard only great things about the makeup. So it's the voice of Dr. Loomis. It is practical makeup, and it looks tremendous. The voice is really, really good.
Yes.
It's really great.
Yes.
The inflection, however, sometimes is just very weird.
Yeah.
Michael, stay back. Oh, okay. All right. Versus in 78 where you're just like, I shot him fucking 6 times. You can scream, buddy. Dr. Loomis screams. We all know.
He screams a lot.
Fun admission, when I saw this in theaters opening night and I heard the voice before I even saw him, I started tearing up. And then when I saw him, I cried. Like,
good.
I wasn't even ashamed. I was like, Loomis, is it? Yes. I was so happy. And I was just like, oh, this is amazing. As soon as the movie was over, I looked it up. I was like, how did they do this? And then saw the actual actor. I'm like, wow, they did some really good practical. This is fucking fantastic. So,
and I mean, the actor doesn't even look that far off of Donald Pleasance either.
No, he's a little stockier. Other than that, who gives a shit? Because that final pull-out shot outside the house, chef's kiss. Love it.
Yep. So Loomis asks Hawkins, did Michael kill? Did Michael kill again? Hawkins is just standing there at the top of the stairs, which is a really cool shot.
Yeah.
And we get, as Rob mentioned, the pull-out shot over the front lawn. Everyone's saying, it's Michael, it's him, Michael Myers. And it's just Michael standing in the front lawn, cops pointing guns at him, Loomis up on the porch, and then we get the title card of Halloween Kills with a new version of a theme song.
Yep.
And
12 pumpkins.
There we go. And you know what 12 is? It's a multiple of 6 times.
Well, that's true. Indicating Halloween Kills is the 12th Halloween film.
Oh, hot damn.
That.
And Halloween
Coming
made it
in
to
with
13
the
before
knowledge.
Friday the 13th did. Hard yikes. We cut to a bar, and it's, again, still on Halloween night in 2018. So there's just a bunch of people out at the bar. We see some returning faces. We see some brand new faces. We see the doctor and nurse couple that were just, the guy forgot his stethoscope, and boy fucking howdy, does he forget it again.
Yep. I was going to say, I'm glad you brought it up.
Oh, God, yeah. But it comes in handy for all of 2 seconds. So the couple are talking about the Halloween party they went to, and his wife is like, your vulgar-ass boss was just horrendous the entire night. You need to go to work on Monday and punch Dr. Mathis in the face. And it's like, I don't even know the guy, but do it. When we meet him in Ends, fucking do it. Jesus Christ, punch him in the fucking face. So they're sitting down, they got their drinks, and we get some loud, rowdy people right behind them. And they're celebrating, they're pouring champagne, and they're doing what you do in a bar. It's Halloween night, you're in a bar, townie as fuck. Let them. And so the wife is like, fucking do something. So the husband's like, hey, guys, we're just trying to enjoy the talent show that's going on over there. So they quiet down. And then he's like, I'll go get us some drinks. Now, when I went to go see this opening night, I went with my friend and his wife, and I snuck some Voodoo Ranger into the movie.
Bad boy. Naughty.
How dare you?
Naughty. And we're sitting there, we're enjoying some nice Voodoo Ranger. And then the guy goes up to the bar. He's like, can I get 2 of those voodoo skeleton things? I was like, what the fuck? And then he pulls the tap handle of Voodoo Ranger, and my friend and I just look at each other and go, we're in the movie. It's us. Meanwhile, everyone else in the theater is like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
We may have laughed and nobody else laughed. So we meet the owner of the bar. I don't even think he has a name that we know of, but starts talking about, oh, don't worry about them over there. They survived, some sort of blah, 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 killing, whatever. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, shit. All right. We cut back to now 40 years later, Lonnie Elam getting up on stage and introducing a hell of a bird whistler, Tommy Doyle, played by Anthony Michael Hall. How did we feel about Anthony Michael Hall?
No.
My dad's least favorite thing about the movie. Every time I talk to him about Halloween, he's like, yeah, then fucking Anthony Michael Hall. I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah. I actually, so as I had stated, my notes are namely complaints and some like, oh yeah, in this moment and that moment's fun. Is this speech fucking necessary? Like, I get it. I get
no.
to
the extent, no.
Yeah. His character, almost to a point, the extent of the use of his character it's too much. It's not needed. This speech is not fucking needed. It does nothing for us. Like, the people who are going to see Halloween Kills should know fucking Halloween. We don't need a flashback sequence of this dude getting on stage and airing his grievances of his PTSD from 40 fucking years ago. Has he been doing this for fucking 40 years? Like, that's the other question. Every Halloween, he's just like, 25 years ago. You're like, dude, shut up. Why is no one stopping him? Nobody. We know, Tommy, you tell this every year. How are you not homeless with that craziness? Are you not just out on the corner with a fucking sign being like, evil dies tonight? Also, he's not the first person who says it in the movie. Continue.
Nope. Yeah, so Anthony Michael Hall gets up there and talks about 40 years ago, a man in a white mask stalked our streets through our wonderful little town. It's like, cool. Thanks, pal. That's like when the podcasters were describing when Michael stabbed his sister. Yeah. We've seen it. We know what happened. We don't need the extra details of describing it.
No.
Use it for more kills. That's all we need. He starts explaining, the whole thing we've seen in 1978. Nobody knows about what has happened in 18 yet. It's still the same night. It's still fresh. That's about to happen. He starts giving introductions to, we meet the legacy characters. We see Marion Chambers. We see Lindsay Wallace. We see Lonnie Elam. And, of course, Tommy Doyle. So Marion was the nurse in the car at the beginning of Halloween 78 with Dr. Loomis. Lindsay was the little girl that came over with Annie because she had a fancying for Tommy Doyle. I don't know what the fuck she sees in him now. Hopefully nothing. And then Lonnie Elam, of course, we saw him in the very beginning getting, walked up to by Michael Myers and harassed by the Mulaney's. And then they raise a glass and cheers to Lori, wherever she might be. Immediate cut to Lori, Allison, and Karen in the back of the truck that just picked them up from the compound. Lori is like profusely bleeding from her stomach from where she got stabbed. And fire trucks start heading towards her compound, and she starts screaming, "No! Let him burn!"
Best line in the movie. I will fight you. I love that. And for some reason,
I don't know. There's a better line about knives later.
I don't know. I just love the Jamie Lee Curtis is an amazing actor. Fucking fantastic. Kills it all the time. Except for this movie, for some reason. That delivery of that line is the best thing she does in this movie. And then she just phones it the fuck in, and it is horrid. Like, for the rest of the time, I'm like, I get it, you're in a hospital for 90% of the movie, but you could try. Like, she just doesn't. Oh, man.
This movie, I thought originally was going to be more of her hunting him down, but
yeah, no.
She's basically incapacitated the entire movie.
Yeah.
So the fire trucks head back to the compound, and this sequence, watching it back over and over, originally I wasn't big on kills. I grow to appreciate kills more and more with each watch through, especially this scene. So firefighters go into the burning compound, and they split up. One falls through the floor after they're basically saying, "Hey, be careful about weak points."
Yeah.
And he's just like,
he is the weak point.
Activates the emergency siren, and they're all like, "All right, radio silent, somebody's gone down, we got a mayday." And we get the coolest reveal to just the armory door sliding up, and it's just Michael with a half-burnt face mask, like, "Hello."
He's wearing Leatherface's mask, and he's like, "Oh shit, sorry," reshuts the door.
Comes back out with a fedora. Fuck.
That's literally what it is. It's leather. He's doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's like, "I saw that movie. Check this shit out. I can do it too."
Oh my god. There's part of me that wanted some of it to be melted and fused with his face. Like, we see it later where he's kind of bubbly in the face.
Yeah,
but it's not like somebody doesn't pull off the mask and it's like, "Ow, ow, ow, wait. Pull it slow." No? All right, like a Band-Aid. Here we go. Oh! That's not how Michael Myers talks in this movie, screaming because his face was melted, unfortunately. But Michael shows up. The firefighter had a Halligan bar, which I'm gonna guess a lot of horror fans didn't know what the fuck was until this movie. It's a fire tool for doors, for prying, bashing, but Michael does exactly that with it and bashes the firefighter's face in. Yeah. Another one shows up and he's like, "Give me your hand." And then we get a quick view of Michael on his goggles. We cut to more firefighters trying to come inside the burning compound, fighting fires as they do, and they stop and they go, "What the fuck is that?" And we see Michael slowly exit the burning building, look around and go, "All right, who's first?" And just strolls down the stairs. They start getting ready. They're like, "All right, we got our axe, we got our fucking cement saw, concrete saw, whatever." And they start spraying him with the hose, hopefully to do anything, push him back. The pressure, Johnny Knoxville has showed us how much the pressure in a fire hose is.
Yep.
Doesn't fucking do anything to the shape. I originally wasn't sure how I felt about this scene when I saw it in the trailer, because I'm like, Michael doesn't go on like murderous, bloody rampages like this. What the fuck? And then I saw it and I was like, who fucking cares? This is awesome.
Want to know a fun fact?
Absolutely.
Of course.
For the rehearsals, when Michael kills the firefighters, since Michael is blind in one eye, James Stu Courtney wore an eye patch during rehearsals. Authenticity of it.
There's behind the scenes video, and he looks like a pirate, which is awesome. But it's also cool just to see the really nice guy, James Jude Courtney, just go, "Cool, and Halligan bar, you? And cement saw, you?"
So I noticed on this rewatch when he grabs the dude with the saw for the first time and moves it up, there's a blood spurt when the thing's nowhere near the guy. I noticed it for the first time. I was like, ooh, somebody hit the button too quick.
Oopsies.
I have
like, it's not even close to him.
Yeah, I've seen that. My headcanon wants to go, "It nicked him." somewhere.
Yeah,
But also at the same point,
the air bleeds when Michael's near him. When Michael's
His
around,
body
the
just
air
already knew it was
bleeds.
going to happen.
Yeah, his body's like, oh, well, all right, just get rid of the blood now. Might as well.
Pre-blood.
So yeah, Michael just murks a whole bunch of firefighters and first responders. I believe they said it was like 13 bodies or something. We cut away from the brutality to go back to the hospital. Lori is getting loaded in. She's basically non-responsive at this point. Karen's yelling and freaking out. Allison's gets like, hey, miss,
Covered
you
in
have blood
blood
on you. And she's like, it's not mine. And Karen's like, it's Laurie Strode. And we see another legacy character. We see good old Charles Cyphers as Sheriff Lee Brackett, who is now a hospital security guard. We get a whole montage of Laurie getting sewn or in surgery. We do see, I believe we see some staples. We do see a little bit of the surgery.
I want to point something out. Karen goes in to wash the blood off of her hands, and it's sad because she's washing the blood off of her wedding ring. Her husband was killed.
She finally
and
has
then
a
she
moment to
closes the blinds in that room, and then we get a cut to her crying in front of a window. Like the camera's on the outside. I'm like, dude, you shut the blinds for privacy to cry, and then you cried directly in front of a window. Like, we can see you. That's not privacy. You done fucked up.
So we cut back to a house. We see a drone being flown around by the graveyard caretaker that we saw in 18, who led the podcasters there. That is another thing that I love about these movies, and we'll talk about it in Ends as well, is the connecting lines of characters throughout this entire trilogy. People show up in one, and they'll be mentioned in Kills, come back in Ends, or talked about now. We meet them in Ends, vice versa. But we see Sandra and her husband. He comes down going, this sleep apnea mask smells like Lucky Strike from when your mother borrowed it. Or she goes, that's Laurie Strode's house down the street. And he goes, yeah, that nutbag lives a very flammable lifestyle. And she goes, don't you dare speak nothing bad about that woman. She will fuck you up. It's a great little comedic moment. She accidentally crashes the drone outside of the bathroom, and the husband tries to pick it up. Something grabs it and throws it out of the bathroom. So the husband goes up. We can see the outline in the mirror before he turns on the light, but as soon as he turns on the light, Michael then smashes the light out, and he slams the door screaming, goes, there's a guy in our bathroom wearing a monster mask. And Sandra goes, well, what does he want? And he goes, who fucking gives a shit? Call the cops. The most realistic character in this movie right there. It's just like,
yeah,
I didn't stop to ask. I'm sorry. Sir. So he starts taking off, but Michael punches through the side window. Before we also talk about this is a really beautiful, pleasant house.
Oh, fuck yeah.
For a nice old couple, this is a beautiful little abode.
Yeah.
And Michael uses it against them by pulling him through the window, stabbing through the back of his neck with a glass shard that is still attached to the window. Like, he's bashed his head against the wall several times already, and then just pulls him through. Sandra tries to take off. She unlocks the door, but doesn't open it and go through because she sees an awesome looking Michael Myers as he just walks in and stares at her. She grabs the knife off the wall, and
Terrible
then
idea.
Yeah, because ma'am, I'm sorry, you could have tried, but he walks over and just goes, see that? Grabs another fluorescent light bulb, smashes it, and goes, see this? This is for you. And he walks up, and it is such a long shot of sticking the fluorescent light bulb into her neck and twisting.
Yeah, breathe out of your neck now.
Tilt. He's giving the head tilt. He's like squishing it around. The camera angles where you see the reflection of his face off, and it's just her face. It's tremendous. And then just takes it out and walks away. Yes, Dom.
Technically, in the drone scene, Nick Castle was supposed to make his cameo at that point.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to see him as his point of view and see his reflection in the mirror.
Oh.
But they decided to ultimately cut it out.
Did they have another castle part for this besides just the breathing?
That was the part.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it got cut and scrapped.
Bummer.
Mm-hmm. But they said it should be in the extended scenes but you've seen it all, so maybe not.
Yeah, I don't really recall. I mean, You see his reflection when they walk up, but it's not like from his point of view inside. Oh no, I guess I'll have to watch it again.
Oh, how terrible for you.
What a fucking shame. It starts getting sad and dark and brutal when Michael goes over, drags her husband, who is bleeding profusely from his neck, picks him up, slams him on the island, and we hear most of this at first. And he grabs a knife. We hear the shing, and he just starts plunging them into his back. Just one knife after another. It's just silent. She's watching all this happening. And all we hear, besides the ominous piano tones, are blade, stab, blade, stab. Oh, another blade, stab. And when Michael gets to the last knife, he goes, I like this one. He just grabs the last one and goes from like this hunched over, I'm going to fucking just eviscerate you, back to standing straight up and walking out like a shape. Like he goes full robotic and just, bye-bye.
It's like, I've done my job. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, I love the firefighter scene. Oh, this kill is going to be my favorite. Something I kind of noticed about this movie is in 18, he was let out and is kind of like, okay, cool. Let's get back into the swing of things. And then just happened to be brought up to Laurie Strode. This one, he's just like, motherfuckers. All right, that's it. I'm coming for you now. No one's safe. And he's pissed off and fueled by rage.
Haddonfield dies tonight.
Yeah, seriously. When we talk about ends, it's the man has finally had a moment. I know he had a moment for 40 years, but after getting shot and stabbed and sliced and shot and stabbed and everything else that happened to him in Kills, burned, and then for ends, he finally just has a moment to be like, ow! And he takes 5 years and turns into the fucking like shadow of a man.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later when we talk about Halloween Ends.
At the end.
Boo.
I'm not going to stop.
Back to the bar. God damn you. We cut back to the bar and Lonnie is getting a call from Cameron, who's like, I found a cop. He's getting taken away to the hospital. We get a little bit of, oh, I'm sorry about, yelling at you guys earlier. Hey, let me buy you a drink. And they're like, okay, cool. We learn about old Huckleberry, which is the bar owner's dad's bat, which is sitting on the wall. And then we start getting Lonnie leaves. We cut back to the compound where we see the cop jack-o'-lantern again, the firefighter aftermath, and there's a cop who spells it straight out for everybody. His name is Michael Myers. He's violent. He's on foot. He is extremely dangerous. Go get him. This is where we start seeing all just the nonsense where mob mentality kicks in. Every shadow, every little, weird sound just sets everybody off. They start getting notifications on their phone. It all starts coming through of the aftermath, what happened, everything that happened in 2018. The TV goes on with a news report talking about what happened, all the murders. We see Julian. We see a wonderful shot of the TV. We see, I don't remember his name, but he's the umbrella guy. And then it blurs out to cover Michael's face. So it's still like, we know what he looks like, but they still cover it and keep it like the mythos, the lore of not really ever seeing his face in a clear angle. And I loved that. This is where everybody starts freaking out, and it's like, oh my God, what's happening? I don't know. It's Michael. It's got to be. The nurse and the doctor walk out, and of course, what's he forget? His fucking stethoscope.
Fucking stethoscope. Dumbass.
Who cares? Go back and get it later. Get the fuck home. So he goes back in to get it. She hops in the car, and we see the condensation on the inside of the windshield because someone's in the back seat breathing. I didn't for a single solitary second believe it was Michael, obviously.
No, me neither.
Because we, A, would have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know for movie's sake. B, he wouldn't have allowed her to scream. We saw what happened with Annie. She has no chance.
As soon as he gets him in his grasp.
So she runs out, says that Michael Myers is here. He's in our car. He's in the back seat. And then Tommy looks up, grabs old Huckleberry, and takes the money from the guy who just paid his bill and tried to walk out, but forgot his stethoscope, puts it in the donation box that says, "Love lives today." And so Tommy goes, well, love lives today. And Marion goes, but evil dies tonight. So Marion is the first one to say it. Not Tommy, but God damn it, Tommy.
She started this.
So
it's her fucking fault. She had it coming.
That's why she died first.
Yeah.
She said it, so she must die first.
You fucking ruined the movie.
Tommy goes outside, and again, we don't need this much Anthony Michael Hall. There's a lot of like weird angles and things that he does in this movie, especially with old Huckleberry. He walks out and just like puts it on his shoulder and twists. And it's like, what are you doing, Negan?
Yeah.
Who are you showing off for right now?
Himself. He's feeling himself. Yeah. It's all about him.
So he goes up to the car, which the lights turn on and opera music starts, which is singing weird. Figaro. Yeah, but it's singing Figaro like the other guy in 18 who just starts screaming Figaro. Figaro. There it is. There's the light bulb.
I just made that fucking connection. That's bananas.
This is another reason we do the podcast.
Wow. And I've seen all three of these movies a lot and have never once made that connection. Because it's such like a passable, like you pass over that moment. All you're so focused on is why did these dumbass podcasters bring the fucking mask? The whole time I'm just like, you did this. You're fucking idiots. There's a fucking idiot in all of these movies. They're the idiots who woke him up. She's the idiot who started Evil Dies Tonight. Everyone's a fucking moron. Everyone had it coming. Good.
Holy shit.
The rage.
That's great. So Tommy goes up.
I have another rage moment coming up too. So just wait.
I'm ready for it. Tommy goes up trying to act tough, and he's like, "Michael, come on out, Michael," and just houses the front fender and smashes a headlight. And the BMW just takes off, and he's like, "Oh shit! I thought that would do something."
They're skipping over the fact that Homeboy changed the music, something Michael would never do.
Yeah, and he takes off, and there's a truck driving without his headlights on, just his driving lights. Fucking turn the knob a little more, please. Yeah. And that causes the man to crash. They all start running over, and the doctor's like, fuck my car, man.
Even though Tommy's already the one who smashed his light in anyway.
Yeah.
At least now it's covered by insurance.
Somebody stole the car.
Not really, like it's unfortunately going to matter in a second, but hey.
True.
He had hope. So we hear the radio change and starts talking about WURG Werg and starts talking about Willie the Kid, which I don't know if you heard it, but we see him and meet him in Halloween Ends.
Yeah, I love his death.
It's a great death because he's not a great guy.
No.
Tommy throws open the door.
Fucking moment.
Yep, I know what you're going to talk about, but we do see the umbrella. So if we already didn't know that it was the umbrella guy, it's sitting in the passenger seat. So it's very clearly him, especially when it cuts away and you see him go, "Nyeh," and take off.
Poor guy.
Then we get it's his whole arc is so tragic.
Yeah.
And then we get I will say this is probably there's another Tommy Doyle shot towards the end that is so dumb and makes no sense to me, but it's the framing of him winding up and going, "Go rip that mask off, look him in the eyes, swing old Huckleberry here, say night night."
Night. Fucking.
Who are you performing for?
Dumb.
Remember, he's had this in his head for 40 years. Told the story every year for 40 years.
Keep it there.
He has nowhere to put it.
Nobody needs this. Nobody needed that.
He has to put it out there.
It's the lighting too. Like we're supposed to feel like his rage and vengeance because he's lit in red. Like that entire, like he's delivering some fucking brutal lines or something. He says night night. Fucking what? Night night?
Twice.
It wasn't
good
good
time. He hasn't really matured since he was 8.
He's still a child. He could just drink now and swing a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
He still goes home and drinks his milk and cookies and goes.
He hasn't done any therapy since then.
He asks his babysitter, "Can we make a jack-o'-lantern after the movie?"
Can I have popcorn?
His wife if the boogeyman's real. Yeah.
It's okay, honey. Tommy goes night night now. Night night.
Night night, old Huckleberry.
we cut to honestly what I aspire to be in life one day. We cut to the Myers house and we meet two characters. We meet Big John and Little John.
My favorite characters in the whole movie.
Big John is the short guy. Little John is the tall guy, who is also played by Stewart
Michael
from
McDonald.
SNL.
That is Michael McDonald. That man is the best character actor of all time. He is in all 3 of the Austin Power movies, and he dies.
Yeah.
Yes.
All 3 of them. I love Michael McDonald.
He's
love
tremendous.
Michael McDonald.
But yeah, I aspire to be like Big John, just on Halloween night in my little abode, playing Halloween records and getting high and being like, stop, look, listen. It's like, dude, he's living his life. He's having a great time for a few more hours. So Little John goes up and he's like, we were supposed to watch a movie. I thought that's what we were going to do. And he goes, you want to get high and listen to records? Yes. The doorbell rings and he goes, a little late for trick-or-treaters, huh? Little John goes down and pops out in his pirate costume. He goes, "Arr, happy Halloween." Kid going, my friend swallowed a razor blade. She got it in some candy that you got here. Oh my God, she's over there. And it's her friend on the ground with like puke and blood just dripping. Oh shit, something. Oh fuck. All right. So he goes down. Big John comes out and he's like, there's the razor blade. It's in the vomit. And then their door slams shut. And this is, I mean, there's a lot of other things in this movie where it's trying to fake you out of like, is this Michael? This was the first moment where I was like, is this Michael?
Yeah.
Like just passing by and going, my house, they're out there. I don't need to kill them yet. It just goes right in. But the puke death pass out girl jumps up and scares them. It was all a Halloween prank because 3 teens wearing some very familiar masks stole all the candy. They are wearing Season of the Witch, the silver shamrock masks, the skeleton, the witch, and the pumpkin. I like how in the scene too, it's like normally if kids were to steal candy and do this shit, they'd take off and run away going, haha, we got you. No, they fucking stand around and gloat.
Remember, it's Haddonfield. Nothing ever happens.
Where nothing exciting ever happens. Fair. They're getting their kicks.
On Route 66.
Big John and Little John just... Thank you.
I was going to say that.
They start spinning the web of, do you know whose house this is? Ever heard of Michael fucking Myers? Starts explaining the whole lore that we all know.
All 3 of them shake their heads like, no, you fucking old man. Like, no.
We're not scared. And Big John leans down, looks the girl in the face and goes, he stabbed his sister in the tits. And you hear the kid go, yuck.
In the tits. Why would it's just so unnecessarily graphic for no reason. Like you didn't need to add that, but it's fucking hilarious
Danny McBride.
at the same time.
Danny McBride.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
And they then, scare him, yell at him. They head back into their house to go enjoy some honey and some cheese and a charcuterie board. And we'll pick up with the Johns in a little bit.
It's our murdery board.
That was even worse than mine. I just felt what Jason Michael feels every time I do something like that. Oh my God.
Wow.
You brought her here, dude.
I did. Oh my God, I did this.
Yes, you did.
Fuck. My brain just heard what you said, went, huh?
Even better.
Mine did the same. Perfect.
Yeah. We cut back to the hospital and Karen and Allison are being talked to by the cops. Karen is saying, he came to my mother's house and was hunting her down. Allison goes, no way. No, it was Sartain. Sartain brought him here to her. It was the doctor the whole time. He was obsessed. There's a lot of in this movie and in Ends where it's the theories of the fan base of like, did Michael go after Laurie? Is he actually following Laurie? And then it's just, no, it's Sartain. He was just in the right place at the right time. And it just so happened to be the same person he was going after 40 years ago. It's all a big coinky dink.
He made it happen.
Yeah. And the sheriff goes, sorry, Karen. And she's like, thank you. He goes, nobody told you? She goes, told me what? Michael Myers is alive. And we quickly cut to Allison like, what? Just fucking livid. Allison goes out into the hall. Karen is like, you need security. You got to beef up more security. And starts talking to Allison. It's like, your grandmother's in that room. Go see her. Cameron shows up and she's immediately forgiven him and hugs him.
Stupid.
Yeah. And
where's my cell phone? Did you fish it out of the pudding, you fucking cheating piece of shit?
So he starts saying, we got Tommy Doyle's getting a crew together. Tommy Doyle's already been going around and recruiting people. Like, there's strength in numbers, boys. Come on. We gotta take him down tonight. Shut up. So Cameron's like, cool, come with us. Allison's planning on going with Tommy Doyle, and Karen just full stop goes, get the fuck in that room and stay with your grandmother. Now.
Go sit with grandmother. Yep. Grandmother.
And so Allison goes in and
going to grandmother's room. Sorry,
immediately does not listen to Karen, who's outside pulling a full Karen, and it's awesome, actually. Yeah. She's yelling at the cops like, you don't have security here. It feels like there's not enough security. You should probably get more security. Why are you just standing there without the security?
Shut up, Karen.
And so Allison takes the knife that they've had, Michael's knife, and leaves it right next to Lori and goes outside where Lonnie has pulled up, Tommy is, and he's like, check out this sassy tackle. Opens his tackle box with a couple guns. Tommy's like, you got permits for all these? Some of them. And
don't question the man with the artillery.
Seriously. Cameron runs outside and joins up with them. Allison comes out and starts explaining. It's like, he's haunted this town. He's haunted my family. We're going to go hunt him down tonight. So we start getting the whole recruitment scene of Tommy running around going, there's strength in numbers. Everyone's driving around. The doctor and nurse are back, and they have a funny moment. I'm a doctor. My husband's a nurse. And they're switched costumes for Halloween. Yeah. So they hop all aboard in the murder train, and they start driving around, and Lindsay sees people at a playground. So she stops. In the car is Lindsay, Marion, the doctor, and the nurse. And Lindsay goes over to check, sees it's the kids that we saw from the John's house. And it's like, what are you doing? It's Halloween. We're out trick-or-treating. We got a buttload of candy. It's like, you need to go home. It's like, what are you going to do? Kill me? Not today, Satan. And they just start going on about, well, there's this guy in a white mask. He keeps trying to play hide and seek with us. I think he's a pervert. And then she goes,
hilarious.
And then the little one goes, oh, there he is. Oh, hello. And we turn back, and Michael is standing right behind Lindsay's car. And we see a bloody knife in one hand, pan over, the bloody skull mask. And they go, oh my God, is that his mask? And so Lindsay's like, get the fuck out of here right now. Michael then crawls up on top of the car just like he did in 78, which I have to think from Lindsay's point of view, it probably looks pretty funny. Because he's up there for quite some time, just like...
I never thought about that.
Yeah, just like slinking around. Marion fires through the roof and shoots the windshield when the skeleton mask gets dropped on it.
I think
the windshield is shot out. Yeah, or not the windshield. The passenger window is shot out, and Michael grabs her hair and starts pulling just like in 78. And he drops down and fucking goes to open the door. And Marion goes, hey, Michael, this is for Dr. Loomis. No bullets. No bullets. And so Michael crawls in and just goes, hi, stab. You die tonight. And just repeatedly stabs Marion Chambers. Another legacy character down. And as we were saying about the stethoscope coming in handy, he decides to wrap it around Michael's neck and start pulling. Michael sits up, looks him dead in the eyes like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Looks him dead in the eye and stabs right up into his eye.
Up into
he has a thing about eyes.
His eye. Mm-hmm. Up into. Mm-hmm. I need to point this out. If you've never seen this movie, he stabs up, meaning he penetrates brain. That knife's huge. He went all the way in. All the way to the hilt.
Owie. Mm-hmm. On the bright side, somebody's knife collection was very sharp.
It went to good use.
Thank you, Sandra. he gets stabbed in the eye, and we get a very quick, funny kill, actually, because here comes his wife with a Desert Eagle just blasting away at the car, and Michael just looks at her and is like, who the fuck? Boots the door, which hits the Desert Eagle, and she bams herself right in the fucking face.
Bams herself
Everyone in the theater
face.
laughed. I know. It's like, oh, that's sad, but fuck, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I went,
again,
oh shit, when it happened.
Yep.
Out loud in the theater. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
My favorite thing about this mask is the fact of it just looks mean and pissed off in every single shot that it's in. Especially after Lindsay bashes him in the face with a candy sack full of bricks, and then he tries to, kill her, strangle her, whatever, and she manages to scrunch his mask off, and he's got a big thing about keeping his mask on. And she takes off into the woods, and again, James does a tremendous job as the Shape and just robotically follows her, walking down a hill. He's not bouncing his shoulders or anything. He's not like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. He's like walking. Like, I've tried that walk before where it's not using my arms or hands. It's so difficult and unnatural, and I hate it. But god damn it, it looks so good.
It really does.
This scene is one of those, I know I talked about Rob Zombies a lot in 18, and just like, even now I think about the scene where it's Tyler Maine's Michael, like, slamming shit through the ceiling to try and pull someone down, and when he attacks Loomis, and it's Laurie just sitting behind him, and the moment he just goes, bam, and turns around at her, still fucking scares the shit out of me. This scene is so anxiety-inducing for me, where it's Lindsay hiding behind a tree. Michael is actively looking and searching and hunting for her. He will not stop and takes the longest time to look around, and she like whimpers. I was like, oh fuck, all right, Lindsay's dead. He goes right up next to the tree, looks around again, and then goes up on the bridge. I'm like, oh fuck, he's gonna see her right there. She's so fucked.
Yeah.
He carries on about his way.
I was waiting for like the like him Hulk smashing through the bridge and grabbing her moment, because it just seems like the logical move. It seems like the most Mike thing possible, but nope. He went after the kids.
Yep.
Spoiler.
We cut back to the hospital. Laurie is like, son of a bitch. Ow, everything hurts. Hawkins gets wheeled in. Actually, he got wheeled in a little bit earlier because Karen found the note from Allison saying, hey, going out with Tommy. Bye. Yeah. This is my teenage angsty phase. And she takes off.
It's the wrong time to have teenage angst. Murder angst. I have a hunger.
I have a shotgun.
Hunger for blood.
Laurie is in the hospital room with Frank. Frank has woken up, but is not, like, responding. We don't know he's awake until she's basically said, that night, I missed you. You were so wonderful. And he goes, you so crazy.
You so crazy.
Okay, thanks. Mm-hmm. And talks about, they loved each other. The nurse comes in. She goes, rate your scale of pain. How's it feel? And Laurie goes, nurse, give him a double. Pretty sure they can't do that. Pretty sure that might kill him.
Stupid. So bad. That line is delivered so poorly.
Mm-hmm. We see Brackett talking to the sheriff, basically been like, should have shot him. I should have put a bullet in his head back then. He killed my daughter. I had to explain to my wife that this man killed our daughter. And he's pissed. Karen is pissed. The sheriff is fucking just lost. Everybody starts showing up to the hospital asking, where's my brother? Is my brother here? We see Oscar's mom show up and starts asking about Oscar. I want to make sure.
She'll never know that her son was fed guacamole in so many sexy ways.
Lonnie is talking about how Ray used to sell him peyote. They remember tripping out on the lake, and he dove in after his reflection. Allison's getting a somber moment. And then Cameron just like points the flashlight so weird. I think he's trying to be strategic because he saw it in a movie once. And it's Lindsay's car. And so they all hop out. They start walking, looking for Lindsay. And we see the aftermath with the couple wearing the pumpkin and the skeleton mask. spinning around on the teeter-totter. They're dead as dicks. We look up, and we see the fact that Michael has then taken Marion, picked her up, and held her up to go wrap the chain from the swing around her neck and leave her there. It's desecration of human remains to a fucking extreme.
It's brutal.
We then see that Lindsay is over on the bank of the river, and eventually she winds up going to the hospital. After more, we're going to get this son of a bitch. We cut back to the hospital. Again, everyone's freaking out. Tommy wheels in Lindsay, and this is where Tommy just starts going, all right, you know what? Fuck this. Everybody, we need to stand. Haddonfield, we're strong. This menace has been here for 40 years. He's like, Michael will be executed tonight, and there will be an audience. And the sheriff's like, all right, calm the fuck down. The police will take care of this. No, Sheriff, we've watched your police department fail tonight. And so Tommy starts riling up everybody. Everyone starts going, yeah, absolutely. And so this is where he takes off upstairs and he goes, you know what, fuck it. Evil dies tonight. And so everybody else starts chanting it. He runs up to Lori's room. Up until this point, Karen told her, Allison is just not here at the moment. It's okay. We killed Michael. He died in the basement with the fire. Absolutely. All's good.
Yeah.
Tommy kicks open the door and fucking just goes, Lori, he's killed Marion. Lindsay's hurt because of him. He's killed so many fucking people. Lori's like, Karen, what the fuck? She's like, I wasn't sure. Tommy starts vowing that he's going to be the one to do it. He's going to be the one to kill him. You took care of me then. I'm going to take care of you now. You don't take care of a goddamn thing. Lori gets up and then shoots herself full of adrenaline, I'm guessing. She goes, if it dies, I die. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's generally how that works. We get a scene that is a cut between of the Johns at the Myers house and the hospital where shit starts to go awry. So Big John and Little John are enjoying their honey. Big John's like talking about how they do a dance and a ritual to get the honey. And Little John's like, you are fucking baked as a cupcake, dude. Jesus Christ. What is in that honey? It's not the honey, man. We get a knock at the back door. He's like, oh, trick-or-treaters? Weird. Now they're at the back door. Little John goes up and goes, Halloween's over. Now there's a knock at the front door. So what does Big John do? Decides to go out there and try and scare him. He's like, you know whose fucking house this was? Big John knocks on the pitchfork and says, I'm coming with that next time. And checks with Little John to see if the back door is locked, which Little John goes back, and the door is open, and a bloody handprint on the wall. This is where my favorite line of dialogue, Big John grabs a little knife, and Little John grabs a big knife. They go, I got this knife. I got this knife. I love it. I love that part. It's so dumb, but it's fucking hilarious to me. Then cut back to the hospital where everyone's freaking out. I still don't remember his name, and I kind of feel bad about it. It's like Mr. something Coney or something. The Umbrella Man comes in. We see his reflection. We see that it's him, and we start hearing him scream, help me. The crowd quiets down. And, of course, the mob mentality, one person hears or says something, and then everybody fucking, who cares what was actually said? Go get him. Because one person goes, who is it? Is it Michael? And somebody goes, he said Michael. It's Michael. And everybody starts freaking out. Lori got down there and she's like, Michael! Dude takes off. Tommy starts cheering, Evil dies tonight, and everybody in the fucking hospital and their mothers start chasing after this man. It is the start of such a tragic scene. As they start chasing him, again, we're getting a cut back with the Johns of they're walking through the house, clearing each room. Big John, Little John, I have this knife, you have this knife. Stuart, or Little John, does his little with the mirror. Big John has cleared the study. The guy's still running through the hospital. And a great line of dialogue delivered by Jamie Lee Curtis is when she sees the guy and goes, you fucking sheep, that's not him. And everyone's still running through thinking it's Michael. And then she knees a dude in the stomach, and that's how she busts open her stitches and goes right back into her hospital room. And so Karen is now tasked with going to tell Tommy it's not him.
His name is Tivoli.
Thank you. He had the fixation.
It reminds me of ravioli. It makes me very sad.
He pops open like one too.
I know.
Oh my god. Tivoli's running away. Everybody's still chasing after. There's a guy running by going. The sheriff is just screaming in a hallway. Everyone's getting trampled. People are saying it's not him. Tommy punches a fucking cop in the face.
Nice.
Karen
He's been
goes
living
upstairs.
in the past.
Karen goes upstairs, sees that Tivoli is hiding on an empty floor. We cut back to the Johns, and of course, this is where Rob's least favorite scene happens, because Big John goes over to the bedroom, and then Michael shows up and stabs him in the armpit, and then gouges his eyes out, popping them over his thumbs, and Little John makes it up the stairs in fucking no time, and then comes into the room, sees his husband dead on the ground, looks up and sees Michael, who just ominously turns back around, and he goes, "You came home." Michael goes up, and all we hear is a scream. Rob?
I don't like it. It makes me sad.
It gives me the sads.
Yeah, there's such... I know it's a movie. I know they're both actors, but it just speaks volumes on how little their characters are in this movie, that they portray love so fucking well that it upsets me every single time. I don't like it. I'm supposed to be like, yeah, fuck those firemen, but not the gay couple. The fuck is wrong with me? Kill them kids. I don't give a shit. And this poor couple.
All it did was live in his house. If he asked for it, they would have happily given it back to him.
Oh, yeah.
But again, not the part where Michael talks in the movie. God damn it.
But did you notice that in those scenes with the house, the original Myers house, despite all their renovations, in the bedroom, the mirror is set up in the exact same spot as when it was in the original.
I did not notice that.
I didn't either.
Hey.
Well, shit.
Once again, another reason why we keep Dominique around for these episodes.
Yeah. Just coming in with the factoids.
At the hospital, Karen finds Tivoli on one of the top floors, basically an unoccupied floor, and goes in, tries to comfort him, be like, "I know it's not you. Come with me. I'm going to get you out of here." He then gets locked in like a little small hallway corridor. She latches the doors and says, "Lock this behind me." And then she tries to start screaming, "It's not him. It's not him." Tommy comes up, goes, "It's not him." She goes, "Fuck no, it's not him, you idiot." And so the mob is trying to break down the doors on both sides of this hallway. And Tivoli sees a fire extinguisher, smashes it open, grabs it, stands ready to defend himself, and then just looks around and goes, "I'm fucked." Goes over to the window, bashes it open, and as soon as they break through the doors, he jumps in a very long fall, capped off by a look around the hospital of everything's in fucking tatters. Nobody knows what to think right now. Everyone is just depressed and drained. And Tivoli is dead in a great practical, but unfortunately just a very sad, somber scene. We see Brackett and Tommy, and Brackett's like, "It's not him." He's like, "How do you know? He's worn a mask for 40 years. So Tommy is getting hit with all the guilt in the world, like, "Ooh, uh-oh." And this is where we start getting Laurie and Frank talking about, "Oh, that night, I was the arresting officer. I should have killed him. But all I could think about was there's somebody's baby boy behind that mask." And this is where we get a cut back to Loomis pointing the gun at the back of Michael's head, and Hawkins goes, "No!" Points the gun upwards. "You have more bullets in that gun, Loomis. You've shot him 6 times already. Might as well make it
6 times.
Yeah, just go, somebody arrest this man. Bang, done. But Hawkins keeps going. "I'm the reason he's still around. This is all on me. It's all my fault." Laurie's like, "Shut the fuck up. No, it's not. It's all about me." And Frank's like, "It's never been about you." This is one of those theory moments between the fan base where it's like, he's never cared about Laurie. It's never been an infatuation. No. It's just been, this is who I saw. I'm going to finish this job by any means necessary. It's never been like her, like the whole brother and sister timeline that came out in 2.
They were teeny boppers back in the day. He's just finishing what he started.
I never enjoyed that timeline where it was like, Laurie's his sister, and then they do away with it later, and then it comes back because it was a joke or meant to keep his niece safe and a secret. Either way. And then they realize, oh shit, cut to Lonnie Elam saying he's going home. He's an apex predator. He goes out, he kills, he comes back home. And so they start heading to the Myers house. Lonnie, Allison, and Cameron. Lonnie goes in alone because he's like, you brought your fucking kid to the belly of the beast, you idiot. Stay out here. Lonnie goes inside, which is funny because he was too scared to go in before, even though everyone's like, Lonnie's the only person who went in. Lonnie didn't go in. Lonnie goes in. We hear the gunshot. Cameron and Allison come fucking guns a-blazing up to the steps, where they start walking through, trying to clear. Allison's got a shotgun, and Cameron's got just a regular handgun. We get the second little closet scene where Cameron throws it open and Allison blasts a fucking pumpkin without a second's hesitation. Anybody could have been hiding in there away from Michael and dead now because of Allison's trigger discipline. Then, of course, as similar to the flashback in 78, we hear the footsteps upstairs. Cameron starts going up. Allison starts going up. Allison goes into the study where we see, or the Johns are set up like one of their photos that they have right next to them of Big John lying in Little John's lap. Both are dead. There's a knife in Little John, which Allison then takes, and Cameron starts walking towards a little shutter closet that he sees at the end of the hallway, and he starts getting some drips on his hands, and he looks up, and we see Lonnie Elam squished into the little stairs that go to the attic, and Cameron looks back down, and Michael throws the door open. Cameron lets out an awesome scream, and gets stabbed immediately. Fucking multiple times Cameron starts getting stabbed. Allison's right next door and doesn't come out for a very long time. But when she does, tries to shoot him with a shotgun, he just smacks it out of the way and she fires and then takes the knife from Little John, stabs Michael a few times. He grabs her head and bounces it off the fucking ball on the handrail. Oh my God. It's such a quick little, like, she should be dead. If he hit her in the temple, she should be dead. She should, like, her skull should be concaved around that ball right now. Cameron's on the ground. Allison's thrown down the stairs, and I don't think she broke her leg, but she just landed really fucking awkward with her leg. And Cameron's on the ground. Michael starts slamming him through the banister, picking his head up and down and crushing his neck and throat. And then Michael rounds the corner to, again, another awesome, evil-looking shot of this mask. And he just strolls down the stairs. Allison's like, come and get me, motherfucker. He stops and goes, you liked this one, didn't you? Yeah. And just snaps Cameron's neck all the way around.
It is brutal. His neck is jelly.
Michael goes downstairs. Allison's got the knife and tries to stab him, but Michael grabs it, points it at her. And this is a moment we saw in the trailer of her going, do it! Do it! And it's like, oh, is Allison gonna die? Oh, okay, maybe. But she's screaming, do it, to Karen, who's right outside with that pitchfork that Big John was gonna come out with, and stabs Michael in the back, but then gets rid of it, stomps him once in the head, and doesn't do it again, and takes off his mask and goes out into the street. Dominique.
Yes.
This is the moment Michael stands up, and all you can hear besides ominous sounds is you can hear a very faint whisper of, give it back. Michael gets up and whispers, give it back. You cannot hear it unless you are actively looking for it. But, like, even in passing, you can just hear, oh shit. Like, he wants his fucking mask back. Dude.
You don't take away candy from my baby.
Seriously. His baby's gonna fuck you up.
Uh-huh.
But yes, that is the one and only talking line from Michael Myers, and I liked it better than the Rob Zombie one. He tackles Loomis out of the shack and just goes, die! It's like, oh, okay. But
because, I mean, Michael doesn't say anything. So having a whisper is 10 times more thrilling in a sense, because, like, those are the only words he said in 40 years.
Mm-hmm. And again, you're going to have to go back and rewatch it, because it's, when I first heard it, I was like, did he just, but when I hear it, I clearly hear give it back. It is, again, very, very quiet, where you need to possibly just go, oh shit, it was now. Okay, let's go back and listen again. But Karen takes off into the street after she goes like, come and get me. I'm just like your sister. Innocent. Someone out here. And Michael starts chasing her. And again, a beautiful, beautiful performance of James Jude Courtney stalking her through the fucking backyards of Haddonfield, and gets out to the street where his mask is. And then all of a sudden, here's the citizens of Haddonfield. Go on. As headlights turn on, Karen does her gotcha catchphrase, and we see everybody start lining up. Brackett's there, Tommy's there swinging old Huckleberry, ready to say night-night.
Night,
And
night.
there's a woman with an iron. Just a fucking woman with an iron and a dude in a tiger onesie. And it looks great. Brackett gives a wonderful little, hey, Michael, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. Upon seeing that he's surrounded, and unfortunately,
It's Michael's
everyone's about
here.
Yeah. So Michael, at that moment in time, just goes, all right, if this is how you want it. Leans down, picks up his mask, and starts looking around like, who's first? People start swinging at him. He slashes somebody's wrist as they try and shoot him with a gun. He just gets his ass housed, beaten by crowbars and baseball bats and pipes and everything. And Karen picks up his knife as he's reaching for it and stabs him in the back. Karen goes to be with Allison sitting on the front steps of the Myers house. We get a cut back to Laurie talking to Frank about how with each kill he transcends. He becomes more than a man. The strength of that no mere mortal can have. This is that like building that mythos that we were talking about in 18, where all of a sudden he's not just a man in the mask. He is a shape. He is the boogeyman. He is no longer Michael Myers. He is some goddamn unstoppable force. And with all that being said, she basically goes like, yeah, it's not going to take brute force to take him down. You could try. Won't end well. And so Brackett goes up, tries to shoot him in the back of the head. Michael takes the knife out and slices Brackett's throat, splashing the blood on Tommy, and just in some slow motion ambient like sounds starts pillaging the entire town of Haddonfield that came to stop him, stabbing people through the arm, slicing people's throats, blood going everywhere. I would have preferred another firefighter type scene. I think it would have been great. I do enjoy this scene. I wish it was a bit more stabby instead of arty. You know what I mean?
I think it lends really well to the film, though, for a movie that has been so like
brutal,
action-packed, violent, that this is more of an art house A24, follow up for the I'm going to take these fuckers out sort of situation. I also feel it lends really well to what is about to happen for this, like the follow up to this.
So everybody else is dead, and then Tommy. We get so many different cut angles of just Tommy just raising Huckleberry, and then this is the other shot I hate of him. Not the night. It's him where he's like on a dolly and just shifts towards Michael. Just stands up, brings up the bat in such an unnatural way to swing a baseball bat, to hit somebody, to kill them. He just dollies over to Michael, and Michael just stab. That was your big plan, buddy? You didn't land a hit. And he stares at him. But
Doyle
Tommy
dies
falls
tonight.
down. Yeah, Doyle does die tonight. Well, Doyle rules. Michael picks up Huckleberry and smashes it broken over Tommy into a sharp, jagged edge, which he then plunges into Tommy. Night, Tommy. Night.
Night.
We cut back to the Myers house. Karen gets up and looks up at Judith's room, which we see a apparition of clown child Michael. And she goes up, sees the aftermath of Lonnie and Cameron, stands in the window and looks out onto Haddonfield. And somehow nobody heard this. Michael steps out from behind her and just brutally just starts stabbing her over and over again. And she's screaming. We're getting a cut to Laurie at the hospital. And the last stab he gives her is like, fuck you for good measure. He's pissed off. And I love how you can see it through this character, through the shape, through the mask. I like this ending a lot more than the unrated version because it's just, she's dead on the ground. We get a shot of Laurie and Michael staring out into Haddonfield. In the unrated cut, Karen's phone is ringing. Laurie's calling from the hospital, and Michael picks up and just breathes, and she goes, I'm coming for you, and starts walking at the camera. I think the theatrical version is a lot better of an ending.
Yeah. Walk out of this theater feeling like shit is such a better ending than like, yeah, she'll get her redemption. No, it's just your whole fucking family. Like, fuck you.
And that, everybody, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, is Halloween Kills from 2021.
Woo!
So, with 78, 18, and Kills, all we have left is one more we're going to go through all of our ratings and everything, but definitely stay tuned and listen to the Halloween Ends episode, because it will not only end this trilogy, but it will also end our top 3s, and we've got some fun stuff to talk about in that coming up next. And now, I think that we need to crown a bloody legend, and I mean,
we 100% have to give it to James Jude Courtney.
Yeah, it is.
Like, this is a brutal Michael Myers that nobody has seen before. It is a pissed off, actually, in a way, expressive Michael Myers. This mask is horrendous. It's brutal. It's burnt. It's like melted. It should be melted to his face, but hey, he does such a tremendous job of portraying the monster and the shape of just how unnaturally he moves and glides across the ground, and then just like, cool, I'm going to take this knife, stab, this knife, stab, this knife, stab, this knife, cool. He is tremendous. I love James Jude Courtney as Michael Myers, as the shape.
I agree.
And especially under the mask, in real life, he's just a wonderfully great human being.
So, bloody legend of the week, James Jude Courtney. Now, whoever would like to go first, out of 10, you heard it, Evil Dies Tonight, how many would you give Halloween Kills? Would you rather I have this knife?
No.
Exactly.
I mean,
you motherfucker.
It's miserable, so it has to be. Dominique, what do you give it?
Overall, I still love the first one more than any other one. The Halloween 2018 version was a great continuation. Halloween Kills, I did not like the writing on it as much, to be honest. And the acting in it sometimes was cringeworthy. Just like my lovely charcuterie board pun.
No, that was gold. That was perfect. It wasn't me this time, so I like it.
I would probably give it a solid 7.
Okay.
I know.
Rob?
Honestly, it's not that low. I give it a 9, and it's simply just because Jamie Lee Curtis is an amazing actor. I already stated this, and boy, howdy, did she suck in this. It was not good. Really took me out of it. Tommy Doyle, too much, not necessary. Real fucking annoying character.
I don't know if I would have rather have had Paul Rudd instead of Anthony Michael Hall, because at least there was some sort of connection to the Halloween universe.
Yeah. Give us Paul Rudd. At least we'd have something nice to look at. So I give it a 9. That's my score. Yeah. Jason Michael, what is your scale of 1 to 10 Evil Dies Tonights? How many Evils Dies Tonights is this?
I originally, as I said before, I wasn't big on this movie when it came out. It has definitely grown on me. I probably would have been in the same camp as Dom, been like 7, maybe a 6.5. But going back and rewatching it and just going, oh fuck, this is just a pissed off Michael Myers. He doesn't care who or what's in his way. You're fucked, regardless. And my brain was already there, but of course, it falls right in the middle of you two. I give Halloween Kills an 8. That's our rating. What did you think about Halloween Kills? Was it a good follow-up to Halloween 2018, or was it a flop like Night Night or Huckleberry or Evil Dies Tonight? Let us know what your thoughts were on Halloween Kills. And before we send off this episode again, it's a double feature, baby. So it's about to be Halloween Ends up in this bitch. Now that you finish Halloween Kills, please go check out Halloween Ends. The episode is out right now, wherever you can get our podcasts. But until then, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Dom. I will see you both in a few brief moments. Until next time, suckers. End.
That was good.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Spoiler Sleepover. But the fun doesn't stop there. Go follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And of course, check out our sponsor, GoreCloud, and use code SLEEPOVER for 15% off any Spoiler Sleepover merch. So until next time, sleep tight, suckers!
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers.